Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to another episode where I talk about how to sustain yourself, both body and soul. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said mind, body, and soul. That's not what I said. I was thinking about Pride and Prejudice. Do you ever randomly think about Pride and Prejudice? Anyway, so it's just about Fresh and Creative, about people who want to make a living being creative in some shape or form. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things in the world, which is the retreat. And by retreat, if I say retreat, you're probably thinking of come to this island and relax and renew yourself. But what if you are a shut-in like me and you don't want to leave your house really, but you want clarity and you want to feel like you have just a better grasp of what's going on with you? Then a retreat is the best thing, because I think, do you ever get in those situations where you just feel really unsure of what the hell is going on? You have a lot of ideas in your head, you have a lot going on, you're just trying to organize your thoughts. And it's kind of hard to sort of think and wrap your head around anything with any amount of clarity when it feels like you're just stuck in the minutia of your life. You're just in the day-to-day of your life, trying to get things together. So it's really hard to kind of crystallize thoughts and kind of get a clear direction. And this kind of goes along with, the last video, I'm pretty sure it's the last video. I talked about planning and how planners aren't a really good fit for me, but retreats and a really focused time to think about what I want and what I'm doing is such a great way to do kind of my version of planning, because my version of planning is about kind of having big intentions, because I have a lot of space on my schedule, and figuring out what I'm going to do in order to reach those big intentions and goals and all that stuff. So, for example, in a retreat, I could be I really want to figure out what I want my next offer to be. And the whole thing with a retreat is that you kind of have a setup in place where you take aside a whole day or a couple hours where you just are thinking about your offer. And that focused time kind of is a lot, for me at least. It gives me a lot more than just a little bits of time. It makes things feel more firm and more real and more actionable than it does when I'm just thinking about it throughout the day when I'm in the middle of everything else. But when I take the time to have a retreat and do it and focus my energy and time on one thing that I want to accomplish, amazing things will happen. In fact, that's why I host retreats with my community. So every month I host a day-long retreat. And in this day-long retreat, you can do whatever you want. It's just about kind of having a vision for what you want and implementing it. So for this past retreat, I spent my time really focusing. Oh my gosh. So guys, when my dog is finished with his food, he carries his the lick pad, he carries it in here. And I can't get him to carry it out. I would love that, because every time he eats, I have to pick it up and bring it in, and I feel like it's giving me more work to do. Anyway, when it comes to a retreat, I love taking the time, really focused energy around something you need to do. So for example, the last retreat I spent focusing on figuring out marketing. I actually used the last retreat to focus on this YouTube channel and figuring out what do I want for it, how do I want to be, all that stuff. And again, that focused time is huge, because again, trying to figure out and think, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it while you're in the midst of all the other stuff going on is insanely difficult. It's actually quite hard. And so the retreat is just a great way to kind of focus that energy in and make it really work. Okay, so there's a couple of different types of retreats, and I'm going to go through the ones that I kind of take myself on. And again, retreats are very simple. They can happen on your couch. You can kind of be on your couch. All you want to do is sort of turn off your technology, make yourself not as available. I love doing retreats on a Saturday morning or Wednesday afternoon, where I can really focus on myself, and it's fun for me to focus on myself and sort of have a theme and kind of a concept about what I want to do. So the first type of retreat is the clarity retreat. So with the clarity retreat, what you're trying to do is get clarity, obviously. So this is when you have a problem in your life. Somehow you're I need to figure out what my next offer is going to be. I need to figure out what my marketing plan is going to be, or I need to figure out what I want to do next. So I have a retreat that I designed called the Bad Bitch Retreat. I was really into the Renaissance album when I made it. But anyway, in the Bad Bitch Retreat, what you do is you spend the day getting clarity on what you should pour your energy into next. Because I feel like often what happens is sometimes I just don't know what to do next. I just know that I have a feeling of how I want to feel, or I know that there's like stuff that's bothering me, there's stuff on my mind. And so having a retreat where it's just focused on figuring out what to do next is a great way to approach the retreat. And also, along with the clarity retreats, another retreat that I love to do is kind of figure out like my next era retreat. And the next era, like sort of brand new era retreat, is really when you take the time and be like, okay, it's kind of like people will say like, I'm embracing a new era. It's really honestly like that, except it's just putting actual action behind it. And it's like, okay, so I'm embracing my rich girl era. So what am I going to actually do to cultivate it? How do I need to kind of be in the world? What are some steps I need to take? How can I kind of wrap my universe around this idea of my rich girl era? So that's kind of what a clarity retreat is. It's really just kind of having an idea of knowing that you need to do something next, or having this kind of concept or this big picture view of how you want to feel, what you want your life to look like, but not knowing what that looks like, and spending a whole day kind of focusing on what that could be. So that is the clarity retreat. And if you need a clarity retreat, it's really for, again, if you're just like, I don't know and I'm confused. And I know that I should focus on money, but I'm not sure what money. I know I should focus on health, but I'm not sure what health and stuff like that. Having a retreat where you kind of do your research, like take your time to like actually research this stuff, pull out your files, get clear on what you want. That's a clarity retreat. Got it? So number one, clarity retreat.